Welcome back. Here's Drake's tutorial for 1D operations with fractions. When we're talking about operations, we mean adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. You're going to use the same method for adding and subtracting fractions. The first thing we need to do is to find the lowest common denominator. So that's a number that both 2 and 5 can go into. So we do our two times tables, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Do our 5 times tables, 5, 10. What's common between both of them? 10 was the first time that we heard a common number between both of them. So, what do we need to multiply 2 by to get to 10? 2 times 5 is 10. So you'll notice here with our example, to get the 10, 2 times 5, that means if we multiply this by 5, we need to multiply this by 5. So 1/2 becomes 5/10. Now for the 5 to get to 10, we need to multiply it by 2. 5 times 2 is 10. 3 times 2 is 6. 3/5, 6/10 are the same thing. Now that we've got the denominators the same, all we need to do is add the numerators. 5 add 6 is 11, and the denominator remains as 10. 11 over 10. If you would then want to get that into a mixed number because it's an improper fraction, 11 is greater than 10. 10 goes into 11 once, and there's 1 remaining, 1/10 remaining, so 1 and 1/10. And that's how you do the first one. Our next example here is involving some mixed numbers, 1 and 2/3 and 4 and 5/6. This first step here is to change them into an improper fraction. So we don't want them as a mixed number. So to do that, we do 1 times 3 is 3, plus 2, so 3 plus 2 is 5. We then keep the denominator the same, so it's 5 over 3. Same with the next one, 4 times 6, 24, good. Add 5, 24 add 5, 29, good. And we keep the denominator the same, 29 over 6. All right, so just like before when we had to get our denominators identical, at the moment they're 3 and 6, we want them both the same. Let's do our 3 times tables, 3, 6. Let's do our 6 times tables, 6. Oh, here's something common, 6. All right, so to get 3 to 6, we needed to times it by 2. So if we're timesing the denominator by 2, we need to times the numerator by 2. 5 times 2 is 10. 3 times 2 is 6. 5/3 and 10/6 are the same thing. This one here, we didn't need to do anything to it because it was just timesing by 1. So now we've got the same denominator, we can just simply add the numerators and the denominator will remain the same. 10 add 29 is 39, so it's 39/6. You can see that answer at the end is actually been simplified because we can simplify 39 over 6. So we know that 3 go into both 39 and 6. So 3 goes into 39 13 times. 3 goes into 6 twice. The last step I've done is just to revert that back to a mixed number because it's an improper fraction. So 2 goes into 13 6 times. 6 times 2 is 12, so that means there's 1 left over, 12 to 13. and so that's 1 over 2. The denominator remains the same. There is an alternative method there. Have a look at it if you want to keep them as mixed numbers. I like changing them to improper fractions, but check out this method if you prefer. When we're looking at the minus, it's exactly the same method as I've just talked through, except for when you get to this stage and we added the numerators, you will minus 68 minus 55. Okay, so that's the only difference there. All right, next one we're going to look at is multiplying fractions. All right, this one you can go straight across and multiply straight across. So 2 times 5 is 10. 3 times 7 is 21. Okay, so you go straight across. You don't have to get the same denominators or anything like that. You can just multiply straight across. All right, with our next example, they have just changed it to an improper fraction instead of a mixed number. So 1 2/3 becomes 5/3. And 2 1/10 becomes 21/10. They've then done some cancelling, or you could just multiply straight across and simplify later. For the last example, I want to talk about dividing fractions. Okay. A little bit different from multiplication. All right, we can't just go 4 divided by 12, 15 divided by 25. It doesn't work that way. What we do is go 4 over 15. We change this to a times. All right, see how it's changed to a times? And we flip 12 over 25. We flip that to become 25 over 12. So we change it from a divide to a times, and we flip the second fraction. Now, being a times, we can times straight across. 4 times 25, 15 times 12. They have cancelled the common factors beforehand, or you can do your multiplication and find your common factors later. It is up to you, either way. So practice that. And the last one here is using the same method, except they're mixed numbers. So what's the first thing we do with mixed numbers? Improper fractions, yes. Convert them to an improper fraction. And then the divide is going to change to a times. And we flip, we invert. That's a mathematical term. We invert this number. So it becomes 27 over 28. Multiply across, and then you'll have your answer. This one here, they are finding the common factors before they multiply, just like the last example. So that was adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing fractions. Hope it helped. Good luck with doing the exercises in 1D. Remember, as always, there's videos here in your textbook, and there's other resources that you can do to practice these. Good luck, keep on mathsing, and have a good one.